I asked you last week when we talked about the business of the wrestling business, and we talked about the building and the creation of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre death match. I asked you, this was a great question I asked on Twitter. What do you think Jim Cornette will have to say about this match? And thanks to our crack researcher who helps us with some of our formats and things, Derek Sabato, he found the exact quote.
Wait. Hold on. Cornette responded?
Cornette, well, he didn't respond to
not
our show, but I mean,
yes.
Cornette's podcast reviews everything that happens on TV. So they'll talk about what happened on Raw, what happened on SmackDown, and more specifically, what happened on Collision and Dynamite. And then, Cornette does what Cornette does.
Hey, it's a business model, my man. And
he's got it dialed in.
Yes.
So here's what he had to say. So this is one of the fakest, most embarrassing things that's ever been on any wrestling program television. I'm embarrassed that Jeff Jarrett was involved, that he apparently needs this badly. Now, yet, Jeff, goddamn, he started promotions. He's been fucking in the business. He's fucking been in the business since 1986, 37 years. He needs a job badly enough to willingly be involved in this. And there was one legitimate talent in the entire fiasco, Jay Lethal. And think of the things he could be doing and the matches he could be having in this company. And he's as hidden as Sanjay Dutt and just one of the merry band members of pranksters. I can't believe everybody else in this thought this was a great thing to do except for Jeff Jarrett. And I know Jay Lethal knows it's garbage, but he has no other choice. Now, listen, I understand this segment wasn't for everybody. And you and I have talked about that. Like I made the analogy here on the program about my daughter and Naomi's light up belt once before. And I thought it was stupid, but didn't say that out loud. And she said, "Oh, Dad, that's the coolest belt ever." And I realized, okay, this just wasn't for me. I'm also not a game player. I don't make it my business to sit down and play console games. I have before, and I will again, I'm sure. But I'm not like I got a headset and I log in, and I'm not in tune with that. But people in my circle are, so I know it's a big thing. And I know that every nickel from that show, the Live Gate and this integration, was donated to charity. So I think you get a pass for all things in the name of charity. I mean, there was a Mountain Dew match at WrestleMania. Bray Wyatt's last match at WrestleMania was a Mountain Dew match against LA Knight. But it's the wrestling business. And there's a bunch of money coming in for this sort of thing. And the number that's been reported online that was associated with that integration is way low. You and I know it's way low. But it all went to charity. How in the world can this be a bad thing?
So, I love it. Can you read that? I want to, can you read just the first line again?
This is one of the fakest, most embarrassing things that's ever been on any wrestling program.
Okay. Let's just stop there. I got to ask you that. Well, I want to ask you this. I'll let you comment if you want to. There's not even 1% chance that Cornette actually believes what came out of his mouth. He's got a business and he is dialed into his audience. Yes. And he's making money hand over foot. His YouTube views are excellent. His downloads are excellent. He has created a business that is, I guess I served it up to him on a silver platter because the fakest.
We knew you did. Come on now.
Well, here's what's, I'm glad that he said it because he introduced the Texas Chainsaw Massacre to his entire audience.
Yes.
And he talked about it and scathed about it and everything that goes with it. So hats off to him. But when he said the fakest, most embarrassing, I just think back to a few of
be careful now. Come on now. Well, don't go picking fights and throwing stones at old bad creative. A friend of mine says creative subjective.
It is subjective. No, I guess that's just what I'm chuckling about. you know.
Oh, listen, because we can both make a list of silly shit and wrestling.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
I know that's what you're thinking, but it's like then it looks like you're getting in a pissing contest, and that's not what you mean.
No, not at all. No, what I'm saying is hats off to Corny.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
think on the dark side, those and I read Bruce had some pretty controversial comments about that, but I think Evan, when you really drill down the dark side series, I'm not sure that Cornette's not the most valuable player because he's the glue on camera.
Oh, dude, he's so good on that show.
I was going to say that can give it context in kind of multiple. He's a historian, and look, there's a lot of great historians out there. We personally know. I mean, Mooneyham and Mark James. You probably know more than me. I think Meltzer is a historian.
Oh, for sure.
To a certain degree. I mean, we could go on and on and on. But Cornette being with his, hell, my old man, whenever that break came so many years ago. But Jimmy has taken the ball with his tennis racket and run and run and run because he has a gift to gab. But you kind of look at his ability to incite an audience, or let me not incite, that's probably too strong. Create emotional engagement. I'll say that.
Well, and here's what you can't fake about Cornette. Like, to me, the thing about Cornette that defines him most of all is the word passion.
Oh, yeah.
Man, he is in. I mean, his promos on TV, his promos on his podcast, like you can just feel he believes everything he's saying with every fiber of his being, and he's delivering it with that conviction and conveying that emotion. And I mean, and to your point, I'm sure you're glad he talked about it because it did pique curiosity from people who might not have normally seen it. Because as I understand it, it was such a success that the Turner people sent out a press release, right?
They did.
And they touted that X number of million people impressions, blah, 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 right?
On the +3 viewership, which, every week we hear it did 800, did 900, all these different numbers. I hate to always reference this, but just in my day-to-day conversation with different folks, people they want to break down that weekly rating, kind of like the Attitude Era, like, oh my gosh, can you believe that? And, we just live in the world is completely changed. The cord cutting keeps accelerating and accelerating and accelerating. And, you hear that number, a Wednesday show, the number comes out on Thursday afternoon, 3:30, 4:30. And back in I'll call it the spike days at TNA, I can tell you Friday afternoons from about 1:30 until I heard the number, noon, 1:30, that was front and center because it was, and okay, let me back up, not the viewership that everybody's hung up. That demo rating was everything to Kevin K. What was the demo last night? Because that's what translates to money. Period. That is how you go sell ads, and that's the money. But that's not that long ago, but that's 15 years ago. Nowadays, that first number that comes out, you got +3s, and then you've got all the views that are going to come in. And the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it was either one or it teetered back and forth between 1 and 2 for the next 7 days. So, yeah, I'm glad Corny mentioned it. He probably drove some views on the AEW YouTube channel, and people got to see it. And that ultimately is something that, Warner Brothers Discovery put out a press release. They touted the number, the integration, and now you have a nice 3 to 5 to 7 page deck that you can create that shows this is how we integrated a video game in a 3, 4, let's just say all total 8-minute, 9-minute segment on TV. But for 8 to 9 minutes, this is what extrapolated out of it. Conrad, it's super impressive. I mean, really, really impressive.
Not just that, but let's mention it's shared on all forms of social media, not just in the wrestling bubble, but in the video game bubble. So it was a huge success. It drew money, folks, and all of that money went to charity. So thanks for the plug, Corny, and keep doing what you're doing.